effective immediately. HR downstairs, 5 words. That's all Victoria Sterling said before she dropped the termination notice on my desk and walked out. No handshake, no explanation. Just a piece of paper that would detonate a $200 million merger in exactly 72 hours. She had no idea what she'd just done. I'm Gordon Hayes. I'm 50 years old and I just got fired from Graybridge Defense Systems, the company I'd given 25 years of my life to. I looked down at the notice. Expensive cream paper, the kind they use when they want to make something look official. My name at the top, the date and time stamped across the middle. I checked my watch. It was exactly noon on a Monday. My $95,000 performance bonus was scheduled to hit my account Thursday at noon, 72 hours from now. Victoria thought she was being clever. Cut me loose before payday. Save the company money. What she didn't know was that bonus wasn't just money. It was a tripwire connected to the one thing holding her merger together. Here's what you need to understand. That $95,000 was tied to a clause written 15 years ago by the company founder, Preston Montgomery. Preston was a retired Air Force colonel, the kind of man who believed your word meant something and loyalty went both ways. When he wrote that clause into my contract, he made sure nobody could ever strip away what we'd built together. The clause was simple. Once that bonus paid full ownership of our core defense protocol, the Iron Shield system would automatically transfer to me, not symbolically, legally, and without that system, Graybridge had nothing to offer Sentinel Defense Group. Victoria had just armed a bomb she didn't know existed. I signed the termination notice without a word. My hand didn't shake. I stood up, grabbed my coat, and headed for the elevator. HR was waiting in the lobby like they were escorting a criminal. I nodded and kept walking. On my desk, I'd left a small black USB drive. I saw Victoria glance at it as I passed her office. She probably thought it was my backup, proof she'd secured everything she needed. That drive was empty. Had been for years. Every real backup, every line of code for the Iron Shield system was locked behind biometric encryption only I could access. I got in my truck and drove home. The city looked normal, people going about their Monday. Nobody knew that in 72 hours, the biggest defense merger of the year would collapse, and it would all trace back to 5 words in an office. When I walked through the front door, Linda was in the kitchen. She took one look at my face and set down her coffee. "Gordon, I got fired. What happened?" Victoria walked into my office at noon and handed me a termination notice, effective immediately. Linda's been my wife for 24 years. She's seen me through my Navy years, through all-nighters when systems crashed, through crises that would have broken other marriages. But this was different. Nicole's a senior in college. Ryan's a sophomore. We've got tuition payments and a mortgage. Plus, Dad's medical bills have been crushing us since his stroke last year. Why would she do that? Because she's trying to cut me out before my bonus pays. She thinks she's saving $95,000. I sat down across from her, and she just triggered the clause. In 72 hours, I'll own the Iron Shield system, not Graybridge. Me. Linda pulled out the chair across from me. What about the merger? Dead without it. She was quiet for a moment. Linda's been carrying more than her share lately, working full-time at the medical center while managing Dad's physical therapy appointments 3 times a week. The man who taught me to fish and fix engines can barely remember my name some days. Then she said something I wasn't ready for. "Gordon, you've given them 25 years. What about us? What about your dad? What about your health?" That hit harder than the termination. 3 months ago, my doctor told me my blood pressure was too high, borderline dangerous. He said I needed to cut stress, lose weight, maybe think about early retirement. I'd promised Linda we'd go to Montana for a month when this merger closed, just us, a lake, and no phones. No more 2 a.m. crisis calls. No more choosing work over family dinners. I know what I promised. Do you? Because you've been talking about retirement for 3 years, and you're still there every weekend. This is different. How? Because Preston trusted me to protect what we built, and Victoria just tried to destroy it because she didn't bother reading the contract she's supposed to be managing. Linda studied my face. She wasn't angry, just tired. The same tiredness I'd been seeing more often since Dad's stroke. Then finish it. But when this is over, we're going to Montana. No arguments. Deal. I went upstairs to my home office and powered up my workstation. A countdown clock appeared on screen, red numbers ticking down, 71 hours, 58 minutes, 42 seconds. Let me tell you about Preston Montgomery. I met him 25 years ago when I was 25, fresh out of my Navy contract work. Graybridge was nothing back then. just a warehouse full of engineers trying to build cybersecurity for military contracts. Preston saw something in me that first day. Maybe it was the discipline from my service. Maybe it was that we both believed the same thing. If you're going to build something, build it right and protect the people who help you do it. Over the years, I became the guy they called when everything was on fire. In 2019, when a cyber attack hit the Eastern power grid, I was the one who stayed up 72 hours straight rebuilding our protocols from bare metal. The entire Eastern seaboard could have gone dark. We stopped it with 4 minutes to spare. When the Pentagon needed quantum-resistant encryption for SCADA networks that controlled nuclear facilities, I designed the system. When our biggest client demanded 0-day patches in 48 hours, I delivered in 36. I didn't do it for awards. I did it because that's what you do when you're part of something that matters, something bigger than yourself. 15 years ago, Preston asked me to meet him at a steakhouse in Arlington. It was a Thursday night, both of us exhausted from a week of crisis management. Over bourbon, he told me he'd written something into my contract that nobody else knew about. "Gordon," he said, "I've been in this business long enough to see what happens when the wrong people take control. They gut everything that made a place worth a damn. I won't let that happen to what we built." He explained the clause. "Your annual bonus isn't just compensation, it's a legal trigger. Once paid, the intellectual property rights for the Iron Shield system will transfer to you automatically. The transfer agreement is already executed, held in escrow, waiting for that payment confirmation from Graybridge's payroll system. You'll own it," Preston said. "Nobody can steal it, sell it to the wrong buyer, or run it into the ground." I remember setting down my glass. "Preston, that's your life's work." "No, it's our life's work, and I trust you to protect it more than I trust any board of directors." At the time, I thought he was being paranoid. But Preston had survived 2 tours in Iraq. He knew how to see threats before they materialized. Now, sitting at my desk watching that countdown, I understood. Preston had seen this coming 15 years before it happened. He'd built a fail-safe and Victoria had just activated it. I checked my security protocols. Credentials valid, encryption keys untouched, no unauthorized access attempts. Victoria and her IT team hadn't even tried to breach the system. They thought that empty USB drive was enough. Then I set up one more thing. An automated email scheduled to send if the licensing rights weren't renewed before the timer hit 0. The recipients, 3 lawyers at Sentinel Defense Group. The message was direct. As of Thursday 1200 noon, Graybridge Defense Systems will no longer hold valid licensing rights to the Iron Shield protocol central to the Sentinel integration. Please review Section 12 of the merger agreement. Section 12, the key personnel continuity clause. It listed 3 people as essential to the merger integration. I was first on that list. If any of us left before completion, Sentinel had the right to delay, renegotiate, or walk away. Victoria had never read it. I'd bet my pension on that. The email would send automatically. No button to push, no dramatic moment. Just a quiet notification that would tear apart everything she'd been bragging about for 8 months. I went back downstairs. Linda had dinner on the table. We ate in silence, both of us thinking about what came next. Afterward, I sat on the porch with my bourbon and watched the sun set over the neighborhood. My phone rang twice, unknown in numbers. I let them go to voicemail. There'd be time for conversations later. Right now, the clock was ticking and Victoria Sterling had no idea the ground was crumbling underneath her feet. The next morning, I woke up before sunrise. Linda was still asleep. I went downstairs, made coffee, and checked my phone. 4 missed calls, all from numbers I didn't recognize. 3 voicemails. I deleted them without listening. The countdown on my computer read 59 hours, 12 minutes, 7 seconds. I was halfway through my coffee when my phone rang again. This time it was a reporter from a financial news outlet. The email came through first, polite but direct. She'd heard rumors about personnel changes at Graybridge related to the Sentinel merger. Did I have any comment? I wrote back one line, ask them about Section 12. That's all it took. Section 12 was buried in the merger agreement, the key personnel continuity clause, 3 names listed as essential. Mine was first. Victoria had signed it 8 months ago without reading the fine print. Now, a reporter was about to start asking questions that would make Sentinel's lawyers very uncomfortable. I went for a walk. The morning air was cold, the streets mostly empty. I needed to clear my head. My chest felt tight, that familiar pressure I'd been ignoring for months. The doctor's voice echoed in my head. "Your blood pressure's too high, Gordon. You need to reduce stress. The truth was, I'd been running on stress for years. Ever since Dad's stroke. Ever since the medical bills started piling up. Insurance covered the basics, but physical therapy, the special equipment, the home modifications so he could navigate his wheelchair, the 24-hour care when Linda and I couldn't be there. It all added up. We'd burned through our savings. The equity line of credit was maxed out. That $95,000 bonus wasn't just my paycheck. It was our lifeline. I pushed the thought away and kept walking. By the time I got home, my inbox had a new message. Diana Collins, lead counsel for Sentinel Defense Group. She wanted to talk. I called her back. Mr. Hayes, thank you for taking my call. We've had some questions raised about the merger agreement, specifically Section 12. We were hoping you could provide clarity. I kept my voice level. Section 12 is your key personnel continuity clause. You should have the original agreement on file. Yes, we do, but there's ambiguity about the licensing rights if certain personnel are no longer with Graybridge during integration. No ambiguity, I said. The language is explicit. Without my role, the licensing rights for the Iron Shield system don't remain with Graybridge. Silence on the other end. Then, would you confirm whether those rights are currently in force? The licensing certificate was last validated while I was employed. My status changed yesterday. If you want confirmation beyond that, ask Graybridge for the current certificate. She let out a breath. Understood. Thank you for your time. 10 minutes later, my inbox exploded. Someone at Sentinel had forwarded an internal email chain to the wrong distribution list, and my address got caught in it. The entire conversation was there. Diana had sent an urgent request to Graybridge's legal team demanding immediate proof of ownership for the Iron Shield system. Her email was direct. As per Section 12, the absence of Gordon Hayes from Graybridge employment raises substantial risk to licensing validity. Provide current certification showing active, uncontested ownership. The forwarded chain also showed that Richard Pierce, one of Graybridge's board directors, was now copied. Richard was the pragmatic one, the guy who actually read contracts. He'd be asking questions Victoria couldn't answer. I closed my laptop and didn't forward the email anywhere. The less I moved, the more they'd scramble. That afternoon, my phone rang. It was Alan Rodriguez, one of our senior engineers. I'd been training Alan for 4 years, teaching him not just the technical work, but how to think like an architect. He was 34, smart and loyal in a way that's rare these days. Mr. Hayes, I wanted you to know something. What's that? Victoria called me into her office this morning. She offered me VP of Engineering, $18,000 salary, said I could start Monday. I waited. I told her I don't work for titles. I work for people who earn respect. Then I walked out, something in my chest loosened. You didn't have to do that, Alan. Yeah, I did. You taught me integrity matters more than money. I'm not forgetting that because she's waving a bigger check. I appreciate it. One more thing. She asked me where you kept the Iron Shield backups. I told her I didn't know. She had IT trying to access your old workstation. They won't find anything. That's what I figured. Just wanted you to know she's panicking. After we hung up, I sat back and thought about what Alan had said. Victoria was scrambling, trying every angle she could think of, but it was too late. The clause was already in motion. Linda came into the office with a sandwich. You need to eat. I'm fine, Gordon. You look exhausted. When's the last time you slept properly? I slept last night. For 4 hours. I heard you get up. She set the plate down. This isn't just about the merger, is it? I looked at her. What do you mean? You're carrying something. You have been for years. It's not just about protecting Preston's legacy. It's about proving you were right to give them 25 years. She wasn't wrong. Part of me needed Victoria to understand what she'd thrown away. Not for revenge, for validation. To know that all those nights, all those weekends, all those times I chose work over family dinners actually meant something. All those times I missed Ryan's baseball games or Nicole's school plays because there was a crisis at work. All those times I told myself I was building something for our family's future. Maybe I said, Linda squeezed my shoulder. Your dad called this morning. He wanted to know if you were coming by today. That hit me harder than I expected. Dad's good days were getting rarer. Some mornings he remembered everything. Other mornings he asked me when I was going to graduate high school. Today was apparently a good day. What did you tell him? I told him you'd be there after lunch. That you had some good news to share. I looked at her. Good news? Gordon, whatever happens with this mess, you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. For the first time in years, I actually believe that. That evening, the news broke. Graybridge Defense Systems stock dropped 18%. The financial networks ran alerts. Unconfirmed risk in Sentinel merger. Key licensing question raises investor concerns. Graybridge declines comment. I watched it unfold on my phone. Inside Graybridge headquarters, it would be chaos. Emergency board meetings, lawyers scrambling, Victoria trying to explain how this happened while her father, Charles Sterling, demanded answers. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "We need you back, but not under Victoria." That was Richard Pierce. I recognized the phrasing. He'd been in enough meetings with me to know my value. But I didn't respond. Not yet. Some offers are worth making them ask twice. Another news alert came through. Sentinel Defense Group declines to reaffirm merger timeline. That was the shot across the bow. It told investors the deal might not close. It told Graybridge's board they'd lost control of the situation. And it told Victoria that the clock I'd set was ticking louder than anything she could do to stop it. I checked the countdown. 47 hours, 33 minutes, 18 seconds. Linda and I had dinner together that night. Nicole called from college, worried because she'd seen the news about Graybridge online. I told her everything was fine, that I'd landed on my feet. It wasn't a lie. "Not really, Dad. Are you sure? Because if you need me to come home, stay in school, sweetheart. Focus on your finals. Everything's under control." After dinner, I drove over to see Dad. The assisted living facility was 20 minutes away. Close enough for daily visits, but far enough that Linda and I could still have some privacy when we needed it. The stroke had taken his mobility but left his mind mostly intact. Most days, I found him in the common room, working on a crossword puzzle. He looked up when I walked in, and his face lit up with recognition. "A good day, Gordon. Linda said you might stop by. How's work?" I sat down next to him. "Actually, Dad, I quit today." He set down his pen and looked at me carefully. "Quit or fired?" "Fired. But it's going to work out better than they think." Dad nodded slowly. He'd worked 35 years at the shipyard before his retirement. He understood company politics, understood what it meant when loyalty wasn't returned. "You have a plan?" "Yeah, I have a plan." "Good. Your mother would be proud. She always said you were too smart to let anyone push you around." He picked up his pen again. "Just don't let anger make your decisions. Make them with your head." "I will, Dad. And Gordon, take care of that wife of yours. She's been carrying a lot lately." I squeezed his shoulder. "I know. I'm working on it." On the drive home, I thought about what Dad had said. Linda had been carrying more than her share. Working full-time, managing his care, keeping our household running while I disappeared into work crisis after work crisis. The stroke had changed everything. Not just for Dad, but for all of us. The medical bills weren't covered by his Medicare. The physical therapy, the occupational therapy, the speech therapy, the special bed, the wheelchair, the bathroom modifications, the aide who came 3 times a week to help with bathing and dressing. We'd been burning through our savings at $8,000 a month for over a year. That $95,000 bonus wasn't just compensation. It was Dad's care for the next year. It was Nicole's spring semester tuition. It was the breathing room Linda and I desperately needed. The call came at 9:47 Wednesday morning. Victoria's number flashed on my screen. I let it ring 3 times before answering. "Gordon Hayes, where the hell have you been?" Her voice was sharp, barely controlled. "Sentinel's legal team called me. They said they spoke to you. What did you tell them?" "Good morning to you too." "Don't. They're acting like there's a problem with Section 12. "What did you say? Have you read the contract?" Silence. "The kind that stretches too long?" "I've reviewed the key sections," she said finally. "I'd recommend reading all of it, especially the parts your legal team didn't flag." "Gordon, this isn't a game. They want proof of ownership for the Iron Shield system. We can't find the certificate. Which system are you checking? The legal vault? The contract archive?" I almost smiled. "That's interesting. Last time I checked, the licensing certificate was in a separate vault, one with restricted access. The vault you controlled?" I glanced at my monitor. The countdown read 26 hours, 13 minutes, 51 seconds. "Gordon, just tell me where it is. That would require me to still work for the company." "I don't." I heard her moving, shoes clicking fast against hard floors. "If we can't produce that certificate, the merger." She stopped herself. "If you can't produce it," I said quietly, "Sentinel will invoke the delay clause, 12 months minimum, maybe longer. And during that time, they'll decide whether this deal is worth salvaging." "Damn it, Gordon," the shout cracked. "This is my reputation on the line." "Yes, it is. Neither of us spoke. Then she tried again, voice softer. Look, if we work something out, if I talk to the board about reinstating you, I'm not coming back, Victoria. But read your contract, all of it. I ended the call. Linda walked in a minute later. That was her? Yeah, how'd it go? About like you'd expect. She handed me a glass of water. You look pale. You okay? The tightness in my chest was back, sharper this time. I waved it off. Just stress. I'm fine. Gordon, you promised me. After this is done, I know Montana. I remember. She didn't look convinced, but she let it go. An hour later, the market opened and Graybridge stock dropped another 12%. Total decline, 30% in 2 days. The news coverage intensified. Financial analysts were downgrading the stock from hold to sell. That afternoon, another bombshell. Sentinel Defense Group released a statement. Due to unresolved contractual concerns, Sentinel is suspending merger negotiations with Graybridge Defense Systems pending further review. Not terminated, suspended. That was worse. It meant they were keeping the door open while they explored other options, and I knew exactly what option they were exploring. An hour later, my phone rang. Thomas Vaughn, CEO of Sentinel Defense Group. Mr. Hayes, I wanted to inform you personally. We're suspending the Graybridge merger. I saw the statement. There's another reason I'm calling. My legal team reviewed your background. 25 years at Graybridge, primary architect on every major DoD contract they've won. The Iron Shield system success is clearly tied to you, not the company. I waited. We drafted an alternative proposal yesterday, a direct partnership between Sentinel and you personally. If you're interested, I looked at the countdown, 1:14 hours, 8 minutes, 22 seconds. I'd need to review the terms. I'll send it within the hour. Mr. Hayes, I'll be direct. We need someone we can trust. That's you, not Graybridge. After we hung up, I sat there for a long moment. It was really happening. Not just the merger collapse, but everything after. A new path forward, one where I controlled the terms. The news broke fast. Sentinel suspends Graybridge merger. Defense deal in jeopardy over personnel dispute. My phone buzzed. An email from Vaughn. Subject, partnership proposal. Hayes Defense Solutions. I opened it. The terms were generous. 3-year consulting contract, $6 million total compensation, equity stake in the Iron Shield deployment, complete creative control over technical decisions, part-time work, remote when possible. It was everything I'd wanted and never asked for. I forwarded it to my attorney with a note. Review this. I think we have a deal. His response came back in 5 minutes. This is excellent. Better than anything Graybridge ever offered you. Let's move forward. That evening, Linda and I sat on the porch. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and purple. She held my hand, something she hadn't done in a while. It's almost over, she said. Yeah, how do you feel? I thought about that. Tired, relieved, ready to be done, no regrets about leaving Graybridge, no about the 25 years, some days yes, some days no. I built something that mattered, that counts for something. She squeezed my hand. It counts for a lot. The countdown on my monitor upstairs read 11 hours, 42 minutes, 6 seconds. By tomorrow noon, the Iron Shield system would be mine. Not Graybridge's, not Victoria's, mine. And then I could finally let it all go. Thursday morning arrived cold and clear. I made coffee and sat on the porch watching the neighborhood wake up. My phone was off. I didn't need distractions for what came next. At 11:55 a.m., I went upstairs and opened my laptop. The countdown read 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Linda stood in the doorway watching. You sure about this? She asked. Yeah, I'm sure. The numbers ticked down. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. At exactly 1200 noon, the screen flashed, transfer complete. No alarms, no fanfare, just a simple notification and a PDF that appeared on screen. I opened it. The licensing certificate for the Iron Shield protocol, updated automatically. Owner, Gordon Hayes, 25 years of work. Now mine. I downloaded the file, saved it in 3 separate encrypted locations, and sent a 1-line email to my attorney. It's done. His response came back immediately. Congratulations. Nobody can touch it now. Linda came over and looked at the screen. That's it. That's it. She wrapped her arms around me from behind. How does it feel? Honestly, I just feel tired. My phone was still off. But when I turned it back on an hour later, it exploded. 52 missed calls, 89 text messages. My voicemail was full. The news had already broken. Sentinel Defense Group announces exclusive partnership with Hayes Defense Solutions. The press release was straightforward. Sentinel is pleased to confirm a strategic partnership with Gordon Hayes for the continued development and deployment of the Iron Shield defense protocol. No mention of Graybridge, no mention of Victoria, just my name and the system I'd built. 1 week later, I signed the partnership agreement with Sentinel. The contract was everything Vaughn had promised. 3 years part-time consulting, complete control over technical decisions. After that, full retirement at 53. But the real victory came that afternoon when I called Dad. Good news, I told him. The medical bills are taken care of. All of them. There was silence on the other end. Then, what do you mean? I mean, we can afford the best care now. Physical therapy as long as you need it. The aid can come every day if you want. Whatever you need. Gordon, I can't let you, Dad. You taught me to take care of family. This is me taking care of family. Linda cried when I told her. Not sad tears, relief tears. For the first time since Dad's stroke, we could breathe. 2 weeks later, Linda and I loaded up the truck and headed west toward Montana. We'd rented a cabin on a lake for a month. No cell service, nothing but water and trees and silence. Alan Rodriguez was handling things back east. I'd brought him on as technical director, along with 2 other engineers from Graybridge who deserved better than what that company had become. Good people who understood that competence and loyalty still mattered. When we got to the cabin, I stood on the dock and looked out at the water. The sun was setting, turning everything gold. Linda came up beside me. You did it, she said. We did it. I couldn't have made it through without you. So what now? Now I go fishing. I stop checking my phone every 5 minutes. I remember what it's like to just exist without a crisis hanging over my head. And in 2 months, I go back, train my team, build something new with people who actually earned their seats at the table. Then in 3 years, I'm done for good. Linda smiled. I'm holding you to that, and Dad gets the care he needs. Nicole and Ryan graduate debt-free. We pay off the house. What about Victoria? I thought about that. Last I heard, she was working for a tech startup in California, probably telling people she'd learned valuable lessons about leadership. Maybe she had. She'll figure it out, or she won't. Not my problem anymore. 72 hours. That's all it took to change everything. Victoria thought she was cutting costs. What she did was hand me my future and prove that competence, loyalty, and doing the work actually matters. I'm 50 years old. I've got 3 years of consulting left. Then I'm done. My family is secure. My dad is getting the care he needs. And somewhere in Virginia, there's a boardroom learning the hard way that some people can't be replaced. Not because they're irreplaceable, but because they earned it. Sometimes the best defense isn't fighting back. It's letting people destroy themselves with their own arrogance while you hold the keys they never knew existed. 25 years taught me that loyalty is a contract, but respect is earned daily, and when someone breaks that contract, you better make sure you wrote the fine print.